Oh, I should have thought of that one. I just saw a little old reel. That's a gem. It's a picture of deer and says, "You surely love hunting. You must be really good at it." It's got the Vince McMahon crying, and like waving his hand. That's fucking good.
I want our viewers and listeners and just anybody who's not us right now to be aware that Austin has rediscovered the internet in its full form in 2023.
You're
not like the internet he had 10 years ago. And I am so happy for him. I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, I agree. This dude found Napster, and it's just gone
It's
crazy.
like the Napster equivalent in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you can download porn on this? And music?
Dude,
and
it's
movies?
so easy. That's what
my
our
God.
office manager at Gun Job. I asked, she does social media stuff. I was like, "How do people make those videos like this?" And she said, "You fucking kidding me, right?" I was like, "No, clearly not." And she's like, "Download this app."
The most old man.
Really?
How do you know?
Is I have that app because someone else told me I should download it, and I've never opened it because I didn't feel like diving into learning because I'm 70.
You can teach me to.
Jordan's losing his mind about something. That's cool. And
what happened? Did someone fart?
no,
Yeah.
it's something funny, but he doesn't want to talk about it on the
Probably.
podcast, and that's cool. I got you, brother. It's clairvoyance.
I'm glad we have
Anywho.
that telepathic.
I got you. And I had the app because someone else had told me we should have this app for making social media posts, and I've literally never opened it. And it's just, you smash like 3 buttons, and it does hilarious things. Like, it's so easy. And I feel like if I can sit on my couch alone and laugh at a meme, it's got some balls to it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what's up.
I've been to comedy.
I think it's
I
going
know
to be...
what's funny.
You have been to comedy shows.
You see that transition there?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Abe's not even paying attention. Abe, he was like, "I'm making a note."
Shane was great.
Stars.com.
No, Shane was great. So Austin and I went to see Shane Gillis a week or so ago, whatever it was, and it was brilliant. It was great.
Well, it'll be
What?
a few weeks ago.
It was a couple days ago. Yeah. See,
And whether or not,
Austin doesn't quite understand
and it might be,
how the fourth wall
I've got
works.
one thing going for me.
and it might be longer depending on whether the
Cap
audio
cut.
is good or not.
Exactly. CapCut. That's the name of the app. That's all I got going for me. But continue.
But Shane was great, man. He was awesome.
magic.
They started the show probably 40 minutes
No,
late,
it was an hour.
and he came. Oh, it was. Yeah, you're right. Almost an hour.
30s when they were
late.
like, "Hey
And,
guys, we don't got some people stuck in all this bad traffic." And to be fair, traffic was real bad. But
It was
that
fucked.
was a big storm was rolling through Houston last Saturday.
and they had the highway shut
Yeah,
down
so
for construction,
so-
right outside the
Beers,
event.
I mean, we were only paying $25 a beer. It's fine.
Really?
It's not
Or
a big
15.
deal.
I mean,
But
not
the
as
first,
big.
the first
I think
time
they were
was like,
15. Yeah.
Abe's wife and her friend were there, and us two. And I was like, "I'll get this first round since y'all got the Uber and yada yada." Right? 2 beers, and they ordered
I just bought our Uber twice.
fuck, and they
Large
chains,
Prosecco's.
and then got pretzel bites. Not like a meal, but pretzel bites.
Dude.
And they're like, "That's $115. I'm like, "All right. All right. You might as well double that up, I guess."
That's how this is going.
Yeah,
That didn't
so-
stop us.
Yeah. We had Ubered
I think it
there.
was 200
We
Uber
spent-
out. I think it was, yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
think it was right at
it was
200.
expensive Uber.
Dang, boy.
Better than a DUI.
Exactly. Like, who cares? It's
Better than
it's an hour away.
It's just-
plus. It was a plus that night because Abe almost peed the Uber. You were fighting it, buddy.
Oh
you
my
were
God.
you were battling the devil.
Dude, she didn't stop. I was already out of that car.
Did you see my? You didn't see my text at night because you didn't respond while we were in the Uber because I was in the front seat and Abe and the females were in the back. And this dude, it was sprinkling for a minute, and he turned on his windshield wipers, and then left them on for 30 minutes, and it was dry. And I was had just enough beers. That's all I could see in my whole life. Like, holy shit! And I texted Abe and was like, these windshield wipers are driving me crazy. And he didn't respond, so I had to fight the devil by myself.
Way to go, Abe.
I was fighting my own battles, bro. I was fighting my own battles of trying not to piss myself in the back of that
It was
car.
my beer-fueled autism is all it was.
That's awesome.
Whew.
Yeah.
But Shane was amazing. We were talking about, I think on a podcast, but at least with some other people, they'll reuse some bits, right? Clearly.
Oh, yeah.
But Joe Rogan said it, like after you release a Netflix special or something, you've got to kind of have new equipment, new bits, because you can't just keep doing a Netflix special on tour. And that's cool. What was it? 95% new? 90% new?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think one of his last closing bits was like a little bit of
and that, yeah, well, you got to have that.
His Trump is good, strong.
Yeah,
So,
but I mean, he talked about holy shit, like the trip to Notre Dame, fucking brilliant, dude.
Oh my gosh,
Fucking with their
Does he?
uncle, just like fucking with this dude who's like drunk, passed out in a hotel. They're just left alone with like 14-year-old kids, and he's just passed out, and they just start
fighting him.
fucking up this dude, fighting this dude.
He's drunk, passed out in a bed, and these 10, 14-year-olds are beating the piss out of him. He's like elbow drops. And fucking, holy shit, it was funny.
Oh, it was
Oh my god.
Yeah. He talks about how his dad took all these kids to the spring football game, drops them off at the hotel, then they go to the bar. Then the adults go to the bar while they leave the 13-year-olds at the hotel. They then come back, drop this drunk uncle off, and then go back to the bar. The remaining group go back to the bar and drink until like the morning hours. And he was like, "This was our trip as a kid. We would go do in South Bend."
That sounds like if Stormwater Creek all had kids at the same time that played football together. That's
pretty much
how that would go.
Yeah, just you're old enough now. You watch out for yourselves. Just all boys, like
You're like 8, right? Yeah, I'm 13. Yeah, I'm close enough. All right, you're good.
yeah, whatever.
You watch out for the littler ones.
So
Hilarious.
now you boys had a banger of a hunt.
Yeah, I don't want to talk
hear
about
all
it yet.
about this.
No, we're going to talk about your hunt first.
Yeah, you go first.
We're talking about my hunt.
We're the
Let's talk about
closers.
you, buddy.
Well, I guess we should. If we're going to do that, we should probably just kind of chat about the weekend in a whole. So I had gone out early and dropped some crab traps so that when he got here, we could pull them, and then if we need to
Let me interrupt you and
reposition,
pause you for a
time to
second.
reposition.
Hang on,
We just
babe.
start.
Hang on, please.
Are you going to?
So I'm going to let you finish.
Are you going to tell the crab trap retrieval story? Or are you going to tell the hunting story?
Which
I'm going to tell the crab trap on the way out. I'm going to talk about Friday, Saturday.
Yes, I forgot about that.
I'm a Friday and Sunday.
yeah,
I got
yeah,
work
yeah, you
hard
need to
to put
start
a plan.
there.
I apologize.
Yeah, he
I,
needs to
I
start
was
there.
backwards. You're correct. I apologize.
Abe.
Continue, sir.
Abe,
So
continue.
I had gone out. Thank you, Jordan. I had gone out with Will a couple days in advance of Austin coming down to put some crab traps out so that he could hopefully bring some crab back home.
Quab.
So he gets down here Friday, and I'm like, hey, let's go run these crab traps and go check this stuff out. And if we want to move stuff, we can, rebait and everything. So we get to start the boat. Everything starts. Go to the boat ramp, drop the boat in. Everything starts, run, and then stop to look at some of these redheads that we saw were ducks, redhead ducks that were taken off. We were like, oh shit, that's what we're looking for here. Go to start the boat again, and it doesn't start.
There's been clarification and had to have clarification for a while. Just continue, Abe.
What if it was just redhead women?
Because most of us try to stay away from those.
I mean,
Fuck me.
yeah, I've got a sister who's one.
Continue. Sorry.
You've got it. You've been burned not once but twice, I believe.
Yeah, I'll be dead by 50. It's okay. Continue.
So, anyways, we get out there. We try to start the boat. Oh, you know what it was? Is we had run into this little spot, and we had noticed that Austin was like, "Oh, this is the first time you've been on the boat with me." And then you were like, "Oh, hey," I was like, "Well, you want to give it a go?"
That makes sense.
he was like, because you should adjust your trim, right? And so he adjusts my trim. I'm like, you just run the boat, run around here in these marshes and have some good times. Fuck shit up, dude. Let's go. So he kicks it and runs, and we running through like no water basically in a lot of these little marshes, and we stop to like figure out which way we need to go to get back over to this crab trap because we were running back in the marshes to avoid the wind because it was super windy. Boat doesn't start.
Yeah.
Boat doesn't start. I'm like, all right, well, I got my jump pack. Hold on. I know my batteries are charged, but let's just use this jump pack. Jump pack's not working.
No, it did
now.
the first time, remember?
Like,
Yeah, remember?
oh, that's right. It did work the first time.
I'm
but
like,
then-
okay, no big deal. Jump pack's got plenty of juice. If we have to jump it 2 more times before we go home, doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then it just stopped working.
Yeah, we stopped again because we were getting into parts where Abe knew where he was going and I didn't, so he needed to drive, right? And it just doesn't start. And I didn't have a voltmeter, but for just no reason, it just doesn't start. It's not like...
Yeah. Gas, batteries. We just changed the solenoid in it because we thought it had this problem the other day, and so we're like, oh, solenoid on the starter's going out, so we replaced the solenoid, and everything worked. It started right up, worked fine, and then lo and behold, we get out there and it was dead. And I called BTK because he was headed to South Texas, further down the coast to go hunt that weekend. So I was like, hey, are you still here? And he was like, yeah, we're leaving in like 5 minutes. I'm like, I hate to do this, dude, but like I'm stuck.
We in the marsh, buddy.
Thankfully, pretty close to
You're
the boat
the only
ramp
one who...
in the marsh. Like, can you, Obi-Wan? Can you help me? You're my only
There you
hope. He's like, yeah, okay, well, I'm on my way, and we finally. I don't know what we did to get it to start because we replaced wire because he found a wire that was bad that had just like corroded and was just hanging by a thread. We replaced that. That didn't fix it.
Abe had butt splices and stuff.
It finally got it to start.
I'm impressed.
Fuck,
And
yeah.
did you get BTK a really good Christmas present?
I mean, I probably will.
We'll talk
Okay.
about we need to. We.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
he's your
sorry.
He's your son.
Yeah,
And
I
he's-
just
And the thing,
of how much you called
I'm going
that
to take
kid
BTK.
to come save your ass and all the stuff he does for you. You should give him a really good Christmas present.
No, I agree. I agree.
But continue.
So he's like, yeah, I'll head that way.
Yeah. And thankfully, we got the boat started. Called him and we're like, "Hey, hold off, you're good."
Yeah, right.
And we got it back to the. We got back to the boat, and then we came to the house, and we were like, "All right, let's."
Yeah, because it was crazy. It wasn't like a try to start and couldn't start. It wasn't like you could hear a click, like battery's dead or whatever.
Right.
When it was running, I mean, I pulled that trim up, and I can nerd out on Abe's boat in a minute if I need to, but pulled that trim up, and we were cooking. I mean, us two and stuff, and I was bumping the rev limiter on plane, just burning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were doing at minimum doing 30.
Yeah.
At least.
So it's not the
It's
motor.
The motor's
right?
running like a top. So it was an electrical issue, which,
Yeah.
anyways.
Solvable, but it's a pain in the dick to go find. But yeah, got back to the boat ramp, got back to the house, and we spent 4 hours?
No, that night we didn't because that was
Oh, that's right.
we started.
Yeah, I was
We
going to say,
started.
y'all
We
started
engaged
messing
our
with that
brains with some
Saturday.
Kentucky cold snacks. We started
That was the next day.
fueling the
That's right.
gears of progress, and
That's right. We decided to wake up.
we
in the
decided
morning
we
and do
couldn't hunt because boat might start now, and then we get out in the marsh, and BTK's out of town, and we sit in the marsh till 4 p.m. or 5, whenever BTK gets home and can come rescue us. I was like, nah. And then we end up
And then?
late
No, and then.
or missing late to a comedy show. Abe's wife's pissed, rightfully so.
Yeah.
So it's just like, nah, this isn't the gamble.
Yeah, you don't want to
like,
piss off Tracy.
I mean, it's just the whole thing's just a nightmare, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it. It's
so we're just like, nah. So we drank beers and watched TV and got up next morning. Like,
we drank a lot of
oh,
beers.
buddy.
Oh my god, I drank a lot of beers.
Oh, we went to dinner,
Yeah, I got real drunk.
and then we
Oh, that's right.
then we came back immediately from dinner, and made 75 pizza rolls.
I'm so proud. Just 75, actually?
I'm gonna be honest.
I think that's kind of all we had.
I don't recall the last time I've tapped out eating. Like, just completely, like, tapped out. And we're leaned on his kitchen counter, just slumped over it, just roll at a time. And I was like, I don't know if I can finish these. Like, we got to finish these. You don't throw them away. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. I just couldn't do it. I got to. I was like, I can't. I'm done.
I'm amazed that 75 sounds like a low number.
This was immediately after dinner. We finished dinner. I had one more beer at the restaurant.
Dessert.
Okay.
And then came back to the house and like, let's eat pizza rolls.
I like the way this is going, but yes, I get it.
But before that, we worked on we skipped the boat altogether.
No, you didn't.
No, we didn't. This night before. I'm stupid.
Yeah, we got out of the marsh, and we just decided to go to dinner because we were running out of light anyways. So we went to dinner, and then came home and got pizza rolls and talked about what our game plan was and where we could go get a starter. And then Saturday we woke up and we knocked that out.
Yeah. What does knocking it out mean, Abe? Let's embellish. Or do you want me to embellish?
We pulled. You tell the story because you'll tell it better. I want to start the story off with. I'd like you to grade on an A, B, C, or F scale the toolkit that was available in my boat for you
right now. B plus. B plus.
Yeah.
I'm proud
in a roll
and shocked all at the same time.
Roll.
Oh, like, you got a roll,
bro.
Yeah, you got a roll.
And
rolls are awesome
for less than $50. You can make that an A plus kit.
Yeah. What am I missing to make it an A plus kit?
Some more electrical pieces. You said you had butt splices, which is great the night before, but you said those were in there because BTK spilt them. Keep those in.
Yeah, that was not a plan. I had those
I don't
in there.
keep them in mind you. Yeah. I'm not judging you, but it was like, all right, well, we got something. That's cool.
They can be used,
The wire strippers, that tool that's got all the different gauges on it.
Yeah.
A pair of strippers and just a baggie full of butt splices and stuff. Absolutely. Harbor Freight purchase, that's $3. Probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The toolkit has become one of my favorite things. Like, I do have channel locks.
You didn't have a crescent, though.
I did.
I didn't see it. I didn't know that, or I would have used that. But
I have a crescent.
Yeah, you're solid. And maybe run through all your sockets and make sure you have all of them, right?
10.
I mean, and then go to Harbor Freight and buy the 10 millimeter socket kit that's like $4 and has all the different 10 mils. Just buy one. Buy two, actually, and leave one at your house. But yeah, man, you had nippers, dikes, whatever, and you had needle nose, and he had a crescent that I didn't know about. He had channel locks, sockets, drivers, extensions.
Man, extensions.
Yeah. And an extension, he said it was a Harbor Freight one, but what was it? 8 inch extension?
Oh, about 8 inches.
I wouldn't know. But on the back,
y'all worried about depth?
No, man, tuna can. So on the back end of it, it had knurling. What's happening? Oh, you're reading the cap. On the back end, it had knurling. Because when you want to thread one on before you cut.
Oh, yeah. Knurling. Yeah, that's standard.
I don't have any with that.
Oh.
I'm a poor.
Sound like a man from the Appalachians.
My snap-on's
knurling.
Yeah, of course, but you pay
forever.
You mortgaged those.
I did when I was a young whip.
No, I know, 100%. But dude, he was prepared. Like it wasn't like, damn it, if we had this tool or this, we would be out of this marsh. It was we need more than anyone has in their boat.
Now that I think about it and you're telling the story, I didn't get the phone call that when you were like, this happened and fucking Abe didn't have a single thing. I'm proud of you, Abe. I didn't know I should have been proud of you, but now I need to tell you,
Appreciate that.
at a boy.
Because if it
I'm
would
gonna
have been
give
like
you
a
a
10,
butt slap the next time I see you.
if it would have been like a 10 mil would have fixed it, I would have been angry.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to fix it, and he had all the stuff, so it was like awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no need to be mad in general
Yeah,
because
this
it doesn't fix the situation, but there's no need to be.
There was no stupid mistakes.
Yeah, it wasn't just like we
caused
had
it.
a basic tool we could have fixed this.
Oh, and I agree because diagnostics were weird.
Just electricity's weird. It's not.
Dude, that such a crazy thing because we were like the starter. It's the starter.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we thought it was a starter. We thought maybe it was a bad solenoid. Maybe it was just one of those like freak things.
Yeah.
Because we had fixed all the wiring up to that point.
Well, when y'all guys
And
I agreed with y'all. I mean, I was
just
pointing
starting.
towards a starter.
Yeah, because I mean, it wouldn't. We didn't have a voltmeter to start, so let's clear this up. Because everybody yelling, punching air right now. Like, just take a meter to it. We didn't have one yet. This is the next morning. This is Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So
I do now have a voltmeter on my boat at all times.
Yeah.
Like that is in the tool bag roll.
now that this happened to him, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go get a $6 Harbor Freight voltmeter and put it in a Ziploc bag, and it lives in my boat now.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Because then you can short stuff out and fix things, right?
Why
Get
not?
you a fluke meter.
I'm not putting a $300 meter on my boat. I got one at home, and I got one of those and 2 Harbor Freights here. And I took one to the lease, but yeah, I got meters everywhere.
meter.
Dog.
What's up, man?
I'm like, oh,
I got meters on
You get a
meters,
meter.
bro.
You get a meter.
I got a few meters.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a meter.
So
I got something in my pocket.
we pull the starter off the boat, and we make a list of things. Like, all right, here's what's going to happen. We're going to replace this wire because it looks rough. We texted with the guy who did Abe's, performance upgrades, and he was like, "It's not the starter." And I did some googling. I was like, "I don't think it's a starter," but we did everything we could, and like, it's got to be the starter, right?
Yeah. I mean, what else could it be?
So pull the starter off, make a list of things heading to town, get to O'Reilly, and they're like, well, yeah, we can't test this because we don't have a part number. I'm like, but here's the deal. It's a 12-volt starter. I just need you to like hook it up to your thing that checks it and kick 12 volts onto it, right? Like, if you don't...
A lawnmower
Yeah.
starter. It's a lawnmower motor starter.
If you can't sell me a part because you don't have a part number, that makes sense. But a test, like, brother, it's a 12-volt system. Let's go. And so they were just like dumbfounded, like we can't.
Did you pull the Ron Swanson move where you're like, I know more than you, leave me alone?
No, but then we went to AutoZone and they were cool about it. This
I'm gonna be real honest here.
yeah.
We walked into
I'm gonna
AutoZone,
say,
and every single employee was a girl, and both of us went, "Ah, fuck."
So that's why you
100%
guys
you.
got to do what you wanted to do.
Shame on you, Abe.
I was like, "God."
you would have done.
I know it's 100%. I was like, "God damn it!"
We're like, fuck. All right. Anyways, we're here.
Yeah, let's see. Let's throw this against the wall. If she can.
We're throwing darts at stuff here. We need you to test this. And then she's like, I'm gonna grab this other chick. These headphones are killing my head tonight. But she grabbed.
My head hurts.
You got a headache? We're getting to that. And then she's like, all right, what's this thing off of? And I was like, all right, here's the deal. It's off of Briggs & Stratton Vanguard. She's like, what is that? And I was like, it's a V-twin. It's 35 horse.
Lawnmower motor. Yeah.
What's that?
And she was like, okay, what's it on? I was like,
Cool.
what do you want to put in? You want to put power washer? You want to put water pump? Do you want to put boat motor? Do you want to put lawnmower? I mean, because they're just an engine.
So you're a dick.
No, I wasn't at all.
No, it was not at all.
You tell by the way she was talking, she was confident in what she was going to put in. Like I just read the room. And I was like, and I was just explaining to her, like, can you put any of these things in your computer? And she was like, yeah, okay, I get you. And she did. And she was like, all right.
And she spins it
She
up.
go hooks this thing up to her computer. I was like, can I come and look at this?
Oh.
And so I wandered back behind the counter, and she was cool. I can read a room.
Yeah, she was like,
I can read a room. So we just,
there was no animosity. There was no tension.
I didn't just like kick the air filters out of the way and stroll back there.
Yeah. We judged her behind her back like a normal human being. We didn't do anything to her face.
So we get there and we're looking at this computer screen. I was like, well, what's this? What does it mean? What's this mean? She's like, all right. The first thing I did was just like throw lower amperage starter on it, and she's like, see if it kicks, and it kicked fine. She's like, they figured I'd kick it up a notch, and we kicked it up a notch, and it runs fine. She's like, so it's fine.
I put in that it was a Chevrolet.
She was like, I put in a Chevy 300 or 302.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
A 350.
So we were both like, oh, well, I mean, of course, they ended up knowing everything. Like, and there was another question that the other girl helped with, and they knew more than the other people at O'Reilly's.
Great. It's wonderful. So
they made a customer. I'm going to that AutoZone henceforth.
I am impressed that AutoZone knew more than O'Reilly's.
I want to preface with where this AutoZone was in Galveston.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes it even like this whole part of the story, because I'm like a Napa, then O'Reilly's, then AutoZone kind of guy.
I completely agree with you. Yeah. It's just like Home Depot and Lowe's.
Napa's in Texas City, and that's further away. And then O'Reilly's is the most direct
Only
place.
People
that's
who
why
shop at
it
Lowe's
gets the most.
are dudes who don't really know what they're doing, and lesbians.
Dude, I fucking hate
Lowe's. Sucks, man.
So
I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Do what?
Hang on.
I'm not a fan of Lowe's.
No.
Granted,
go ahead.
Home Depot's down the street.
Lowe's will not cut a board for you that is treated.
Again.
Yeah. I think that we call that evidence.
In Lubbock the other day, I needed a tailgate for my trailer. I rolled in there, and I'm like, I need this cut. And he's like, we can't do it. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't do it?
Yeah.
He's like, I'll cut anything else. So I walked out with a non-treated trailer tailgate.
You didn't ask him why, did you?
I did, actually.
Why?
It dulls the blade faster, which it does.
That's your job. That's costume business.
You're a company that sells them.
That's
I bet you get a good deal.
I will tell you this: the employee was cool. I asked him, I was like, "Hey, man, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like, why?" And he was like, "Because it doles the blade out, and they twice as fast." I'm like,
sure. But once you start not cutting treated wood, everybody goes and buys their treated wood elsewhere, and they're not making an extra stop for lumber. They're all getting to the same place. You don't cut it.
There's no way that.
I'm not saying Lowe's is going out of business. Don't get me wrong, but it's
probably more expensive at Lowe's too.
It always is.
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad actually. But
Abe and I walked a guy through a plumbing project at Home Depot in Galveston.
That's right, we did.
He was like, "Are you a plumber?" I was like, "Nah." He's like, "Okay." I was like, "But what do you got?" It's legitimate.
Yeah. But I am autistic.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's spitball here.
Don't get that. That's shit. Don't get that one. Get this one.
No, 100% how it went. And he walked out there. I was like, "Brother, if everything you told me is what it is, you're square." Because we were working on Abe's plumbing.
Nothing is.
And that's what
seeing the satisfaction on Grant's face right now. I was watching him explain that, and he was so satisfied that he's like, "If everything you told me is 100%, I told you correctly."
It's true though. I was Ron Swanson.
But it's a satisfaction. Yeah. I just like seeing you happy, man.
Oh, I saw the clip the other day. He breaks the sconce off of someone's wall and makes wedding rings. He's like, people who buy things are suckers.
So we go to AutoZone. Starter's good. We buy
key switch,
wire, key switch, and a voltmeter.
Some Sour Patch Kids.
And go back to the house, and we go to tearing stuff apart. And
I just started chasing the gremlins.
We found that let's see, the mercury switch was bad. And then we found what else was bad?
Solenoid signal wire. Mm-hmm. The
Yeah, the solenoid
it
signal
was
wire.
questionably corroded,
Yep.
and so I was like, "We're just swapping this," you know.
Yeah, so
And
we
then
just-
after that,
and lo and behold,
and we checked the kill switch. It was fine.
Yep.
So yeah, we just took off the. It was a mercury switch and a possibly corroded connector, but we did also, after we replaced the connector, slip the mercury switch back in, and it was dead. So 99% mercury switch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
got it back running,
Chase-
and then we decided to
You talked
go.
to me when you said that. I was like, "Fuck."
I just never heard.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I've spent a lot of time on mudboat forums googling mercury switch, but I just never
Yeah,
heard
I mean-
anybody talk about, man, craziest thing, mercury switch went out, right?
Yeah.
So
I feel like my interaction with you guys on that one was like the Ralph Wiggum "I'm helping" situation. Like I was just like, maybe it's a grounding issue. Like the whole time I'm thinking, just like I'm helping.
oh, I
I'm helping. That was like
I
me.
was-
That's still how you done.
I was shorting out starter leads. A couple times
That was
with a
very-
screwdriver and scared shit out of Abe. Just spark.
I've had to
So we
start.
did that. Got the boat running.
I had to start my Jeep.
We
like that
then-
once.
That's
Put on a new light bar. We fixed it. We put in a new LED navigation light because the other one was kind of like, I don't know, they found a bigger one and they just put a bigger one in there and then dremeled it out and it was shorting out. We put a new one in there. That stopped that. What else did we do on the boat?
That new light bar, we clipped it in with your headlights, which you said had a short. That was a bad connector also. Just saltwater eating
Fixed
shit.
that.
So we did them all with good butt splices that had, the glue in them. And
those are my favorite. I use those for everything.
absolutely.
Man, nowadays.
Absolutely.
They're the best.
They're never going to come off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ever. It's just...
But the boat is right.
Yeah,
now,
bow steering, that
you know?
thing is squared away.
That interior lighting is badass, though,
Oh,
right?
we did that too. We replaced your self-tappers with rivets.
Oh, yeah, we riveted put those back in and rivet so that it doesn't tear a jacket.
Yeah, put stuff in and out.
Oh yeah. That makes more sense.
I was
yeah.
like, here you go. So yeah, we did some work on that boat.
Yeah, we did. And by the time we got done with that, we couldn't even. Did we run out that day?
No, because we immediately when we got done, we went upstairs.
you
sat
had to go
down,
to comedy.
drank a beer,
Yeah.
and then put on collared shirts and went to comedy.
Yes. Went to comedy.
Then
Then we woke up in the morning and we had planned on taking the bay boat out because the wind was going to be blowing, and we were like, "Oh, could we just dump?" We had 200 some odd decoys.
we had 20
20
dozen.
dozen.
That'd be
20 dozen
240.
decoys we were taking out.
Let's not glance over that right now. 20 dozen.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I mean,
It filled the entire front of that bay boat up.
Yeah, it was
You couldn't.
100% 20 dozen.
240 decoys.
Yeah, 20 dozen.
20
Filled
dozen.
the front of
20
that bay
sets
boat.
of 12.
So there
The
was
whole bay boat.
Filled that.
yeah,
Filled the entire front of it. Of a 23-foot bay boat, it filled
Of
up
course.
13 feet of it, 2 feet deep.
Yeah,
You know?
it was unbelievably ridiculous and amazing.
The wind is ripping 25 to 30 miles an hour and gusting 40 out of the north. We run out. We get to the first spot, and the other thing I just didn't realize was going to be such a thing is the tide was down probably 4 feet. And going out. And so the first spot we got to, which should have been an easier shot, was 30 yards from the water. So,
It's the Edmund Fitzgerald.
yeah.
That's your background music. Keep going, bro.
So we get to this place. We're gonna we're gonna drop the boat here in the intercoastal. We're gonna walk on the other side of this island, which is like 20 feet, nothing, right? And we get up in there, and the wind is blowing that boat up. And so Austin's with the boat because he's got the dog.
Wait, you're missing
Big chunk
You're,
there.
you're missing like a lot. Like what?
Hold on.
With the boat.
I'm talking about the initial. Just hang with me, okay?
On the island,
We go out in the morning.
happened.
We hang the boat on the island, and it takes all 4 of us to drag the boat to get it up where the motor's deep enough to go down to get across. And so we decide we're going to run from that spot because we know that's now unhuntable. We're going to run into this other little lake and hunt the main body of this lake. Right? And we get started to get set up. The sun's coming up. Everybody starts to rush. We're in an oyster reef.
Yeah, that as soon as we jumped out, we're like, oh, this is a reef, oyster reef. And I was like, well, I can't hunt Max here, obviously. Knowing if I make a big issue, everybody's be like, cool, let's move. I was like, I'm going to sit in the boat with the dog. I'm done. I'm over this. I'm not angry about this.
They have like 4 minutes to shooting light, and we don't have a decoy in the water. Everybody's at the boat.
Moving was a dumb idea at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're hunting here. I agree it was the correct spot, but I was like, no, we're done. I'm gonna go in the boat. And at that point in my head, I'm just like, I'm just gonna take a fucking nap. It's fine. I'm tired. We messed with that boat and then went to a comedy show. It's fine. Yeah. It is what it is. So Abe and I run around there. We anchor up. Abe walks over to hunt with them. I watch some birds roll in. They shoot at them. I'm like, I might as well throw some.
Oh, this was one of those hunts too where, like, no legit. We were there with Glenn and Joel, and Glenn was like, "We're going to give this an hour, right? Like an hour, and we're out of here." And Joel was like, "I'll leave right now if somebody wants to," because Joel is just so like angry. Joel is the best. Dude, we talked about this.
Oh, when he's salty,
he's so. Dude, like Andrew sent us this.
Go ahead, you tell it.
He sends this like, hey, how do you deal with what's the best way to deal with a bait caster when you backlash it? And Joel sent back, throw that fucker in the bay and get a spinning rod.
I just love it when he gets so salty about out of the blue, so
angry.
Okay,
it's like, all right, okay, wow, all right,
that's great.
Oh, yeah. So he is just, Joel is just 100% like, fuck this. I should have slept in.
When we got
this is fucking dumb.
Joel standing next to me, and a lot of times Joel and I are on the same page. Like the last time I hunted down there, Joel and I are in my boat, Abe and Glenn are in his boat, and we're putting around spots, and the third stop of the morning, I'm just like, what? And Joel's like, if you want to turn this fucking boat around, you can. He's done. And I
don't even care.
And we sit down, and in 15 minutes, there's no birds. I'm like, are we done? And Joel's like, I was done 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I was done before we got here.
It's so good.
So Joel's over it. We're sitting there. It's going to be an hour. And as soon as they're like saying, like, we're going to give this an hour, I have zero expectations. Birds. And we just get dive bombed by redheads. And they come in, we shoot and cripple up one because they're landing on the backside of the decoys. The wind's blowing. We try to go get it. It was just a fucking mess. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to the boat. I'll sit with, because Austin is talking now, right? And with me, because I know he's not taking a nap. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I can go do this anytime I want.
You're making it sound like Austin's like he was ignoring you before because he was mad or something.
Well, no, he was going to go. I had left and came and sat down.
No, he means...
No, he was not angry.
I texted them like, what birds are those coming in? Because I could see their spread and stuff. Because I'm in a boat and they're laying in the grass and it's a few...
Sure.
Oh, yeah, he's maybe 110 yards, 120 yards from us.
Yeah. So I was like seeing them like, oh shit, did y'all get any? Stuff like that. So like, as in I was communicating with him, you know.
I gotcha.
And it was happening very frequently. So I was just like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to go back to the boat. And I'll say like, you go sit over there and I'll sit with Max and you hunt this. I live here, you know. So he's like, nah. And I go, well, I walk back and he's got fucking a dozen coot decoys 10 feet off the back of the boat. And it's just like, you know,
from the motor.
I walked back. I was like, oh, you're doing a little hunting here, are you? And keep in mind, I have a 23-foot center console seafoam green Baybo.
It's bright.
This is not a duck hunting rig.
Sitka camo on a looking like a turd in a toilet, just sitting there.
I like that visual.
I mean,
Visual is great. Good job.
Absolutely, just this black spot in the middle of a white thing, just stupid.
So I walk up and I was like, "Oh, you're doing you." I was like, "You go over there and hunt," and he was like, "I'm shooting birds here." I was like, "What?"
You don't leave birds to find birds.
Yeah, Doc. I'm standing there with a white.
You don't leave birds to fly birds. I was like, "What?" Hey, here's the deal: the wind was legitimately blowing so fucking hard. He shot. I never heard it. He's less than 100 yards from us. Never heard
I
you
shot
shoot.
8 times.
Never
didn't know
once fucking heard you
Oh,
shoot.
I mean, the wind was bad, but I didn't realize it was that bad.
It was
Wow.
ripping,
I shot 8
dude.
times.
No, never heard a shot.
Wow.
And so you're like, "Oh, I shot one," and because Max is soaking wet, and I'm like, "Well, how did
Hey, what's the matter here?
what happened here? You know what's going on here? You got a bird? Did you shoot a redhead?"
Did.
Yeah. So now I'd like you to tell the rest of this.
Oh, and so we're standing there just doing nothing. 12 coot decoy. Whole spreads 20 feet across. I mean, it's nothing. It's stupid. And we're sitting there talking. I was like, "Is that a duck?" And he was like, "That's duck." I was like, "It's duck." I pick up my shotgun, and 15 feet?
Decoys off the motor, basically.
A bobblehead, and I whack this thing, just like, and start screaming, "I win! I win!" And Max jumps off the back of the boat and gets it, and we just laugh. Oh my God, I couldn't stop laughing, just like, how did this happen? Like, I shot my second bobblehead ever because I tossed my white monster can into the white boat and shot off right over the top of the motor. Like, what?
So ridiculous.
Just couldn't stop. I mean, and if we put about some more decoys around that boat, I really think 6 ducks could have gotten shot that morning off the bay boat. I genuinely believe.
I mean, even if you would have just gotten off the bay boat and went and sat down in the grass and hunted with it just right where it was at, and you just hunted right that little open area right there, you would have been. Dude,
I should have.
There's no oysters there.
Damn it! I know, and that's why I let him jump out and get that bird. But just just even think about it now. It was hilarious.
And there's people on the intercoastal driving past us, and there's no doubt they're like, "What in the actual fuck is going on here?"
Head 10 feet from the motor in black camouflage waders. People cruising by is probably like, "What is happening here?
What is going on here?" Right? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh man!
Shot ducks.
Yeah.
We came home. We took a nap.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up and he had a headache.
Yeah, it's got bad.
And I said, "All right, well, let's, I think you, kind of like, I think I'm going to go lay down a little bit." You went and laid down a little bit. You woke up. I was like, "Are you feeling better?" You're like, "I'm feeling a little bit better." I was like, "Cool. Should we go get these crabs?" And you're like, "Yes, we'll go get these crabs." So we run out and we get 3 crab traps. Like, we do this for a living.
Yeah.
Get to the next one, and I'm like, "Oh, we're going to go around this way, and we're going to cut through this whole area because I got to get." There's one I know in this specific area. The water could be pretty low,
And we're hauling ass too.
I was fucking flying. Yeah. We get to the first one. We pick up the thing, and I'm like, "All right, we got to run across this entire marsh through this little creek channel to get to this open area to go back over to this other side." I should have turned around and gone back out and gone up the intercoastal and back down and around to the main lake and come back in, is what I should have done.
Yep.
But I was like, fuck it.
And we didn't know.
It's fine. No, I mean, and I was like, there's probably enough water in the little cuts to get through there.
Yeah, and the tide since that morning had come back in a ton.
A little, yeah, it did definitely come back in.
I suppose that's a very relevant term.
It takes it a couple days to adjust from that when all that north wind comes in.
When we came back from duck hunting that morning, the water under Abe's boat lift.
Okay.
He was we may have been dragging skeg. There was
getting my boat back into the slip.
Oh wow!
I had to jump out and reel it down because it had gone down so much while you're hunting, you couldn't get it in the slip.
Okay, so way down.
Like you could, the bottom was right there. It was like a foot. It was like a foot of water in that canal. It's crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah. So I'm running, get that fourth trap in the boat. I'm running, and I'm like gonna try to hook this like turn to go up around this creek. And the boat just we were like first of all we both realized we're in no fucking
You
water.
can feel them.
Like legitimately, like there's no water, and we're running, and I cut this corner, and the boat just sits sideways and slides, and I'm like, we're fucked, you know. So we get out, it's soupy fucking mud, and we're like, all right, well, let's start figuring out where the fuck we're gonna drag this thing to, and do we go backwards or do we go forwards? I was like, we were in no water for a while before this stopped, so it probably behooves us to go forward. So like, all right, let's go this way. We drag that boat a half a mile
At least. I mean,
before we get it. Yeah,
yeah.
in just no water, just mud, and it
this.
was.
But we're just gonna grab
And that was one of those.
some air.
Like,
Maybe it'll help, right? It's okay. Some salty air, just a breeze.
Yeah,
Neighbors.
you're riding in a boat picking up crab trap. It's no big
No,
deal,
dude.
you know.
Oh heavens!
Was there any crabs?
We finally get in the
dozen.
boat. Oh yeah, we caught a bunch of crabs. So we get unstuck finally. We get back home, and I say, you know, and the night before I told him, I'm like, hey, we're going to put our friendship to a test, and we're going to put a couple bunk beds together.
2 bunk beds. That's 4
And
beds.
2 bunk
Ladders.
beds. Yeah.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, bits and pieces. So we get home, we eat dinner, and I'm like, all right, let's get after this. And we spend the next 2 hours. I was just like,
Beat me.
I got my money's worth out of Austin that day, that weekend.
We got done with that second bunk.
Rent
I
ain't
was like,
free?
I'm going to sleep.
I'm going to sleep
Done
right
here.
now. Yeah.
Did you sleep on one of the bunk beds?
Of course, I had to because
Yeah.
we had to remove all the furniture from the room, build bunk beds in the room, rearrange the other furniture, put a bed back together so I could sleep in it. Yeah.
So now that back room has a queen over twin and 2 twin bunk beds in it.
Yeah. So we can all party back there.
So
Which room is it again?
The back room. The big one.
Back
The bigger
room.
one.
Okay.
It's got a twin bunk bed and a twin over queen.
We call that the boom boom room.
Oh, well, do we?
yeah, exactly.
I do.
We do now.
I thought that was Abe's rooms.
Now
Or the marital bed.
No, Abe's
American
bedroom when I'm in town.
Oh,
It's called the Love Shack.
come on, you can do better
Love
than that.
Shack, baby.
I don't know. Yeah. Thanks for the F Shack. Love Dirty Mike and the
F Shack.
boys.
So yeah, I had to stay Sunday night also because I didn't get my chores done in time to go home. Like,
You had to stay.
during Sunday during the day.
I-
No, it was Saturday. Saturday night before he hunted. He's like, "Were you gonna go home tomorrow?" I was like, "Fucking no, we hadn't built those bunk beds. I guarantee you, there's no way we'd hunt."
I really appreciate
and
it.
I drive home. I was like, not gonna be able to get our chores done.
Why didn't you do taco night when Austin was there?
Oh, we ate tacos after the comedy show, like 50.
Like street tacos,
Yeah.
or did you go to Taco Bell?
4 orders of street tacos from someplace.
Nice.
What kind did you get? I want to talk about this further.
We both got an order of
Yeah.
these trompos, and then
Dude,
Yeah.
Trumpo tacos are so
Yeah.
fucking tight.
it was delicious.
Oh my
They're the
god.
best, dude.
It's delicious. And then I ordered these like quesadilla taco things. They were just because it was a street taco.
They were
It's
good.
just street tacos
Did they have
with cheese and
birria?
smashed, and it was delicious.
Kind of that.
It's tortillas
Yeah.
and cheese, and
Not
stuff.
birria,
It's
but
delicious.
yeah.
And then these things that were supposed to be kind of like tostadas. They were kind of just beef tacos, which were fine because they were
Beef
delicious. So we
Yeah,
ate
they were
all
good.
of that.
Hell yeah. This makes me happy
Yeah,
and jealous.
we ate so much. Oh, then after we got done furnituring, what did we eat that day?
You had all
Did
them
we-
pizza rolls at one night, then you had all this Mexican food. And
Did we eat after we didn't eat after we hunted. We just came and went to sleep.
Yeah, we came home and went to sleep, I think. because Abby and Tracy went out to brunch
that's
and
right.
left us behind.
Yeah. Ugh.
So
Yeah, it was a weekend.
it was
Sounds
a
like
weekend.
it, man.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
yeah. Well, I mean, I want to thank everyone for listening to the epic weekend story.
No.
Man. This is a great.
I want to hear about
story.
y'all's weekend
Oh, me and Jordan.
because I swear
Me
to
and
God,
Jordan
the first
fucked
part of
around
this-
and found out, bro.
dude. There's no doubt we spent the better part of that morning going, "This is bullshit."
Jordan would have
All right, hang on.
Jordan would have said that first. We would have been like, "What?"
Hang on.
But since it was Jared,
Jared, do you want us to tell the story and I'll chime in every now and then, or do you want me to tell the story and you chime in?
Man, I don't give a fuck. We did it together, brother. You and me, man.
it's tag team back again.
All right.
See?
This story starts Thursday when we did a podcast. Me and Jared were
No,
over here
before
at
then.
Gillis. And
It was 1988, Temple, Texas, at Scott and White Hospital. A precious little brown baby was born. His name was Jared Ahmed. Little did we know he was destined for greatness with his companion, Jordan Grimes.
that story started in 83, bro. So Thursday night I had COVID about a month ago and I have not got my legs underneath me. So my enthusiasm and my want to sleep is really good right now. I didn't lose my taste or smell. I lost my enthusiasm. But anyways, I told Jared, I was
Is
like,
it back?
huh?
Is that just like an
But
age
not-
thing,
is it
or
back?
I don't know. It might be an
COVID?
age thing. Maybe I need I may have low T. I don't know.
That's what was going to be my next.
I'm
thing.
an old man now.
Have you been fingered yet? No,
What?
you're not 40 yet.
Wait, what?
Woo! I mean, I didn't think we were talking about this, but I did have an uncle touchy feely. Anyway, so here I was like, Jared, it's all up to you. It's only me and you up here. If you want to hunt this weekend, you tell me. I'll come hunt with you. If you don't want to hunt, cool. And Jared kind of hem-hawed around. I didn't feel like I got a great answer. So
True.
Friday morning, I was at work way early, did a little like scouting, looked at the weather, and I was like, are we hunting or not? It looks like there's a cold front coming in Sunday. What do you think? And Jared was like, I didn't think you wanted to hunt. Do you want to hunt? And I'm like, I think we should hunt Sunday. I'm probably going to go somewhere. We should hunt Sunday. I text Grinch. I'm like, what do you think? Grinch said, if you're going to hunt, Sunday's the day. There's a cold front. I'd hunt the cold front. And I'm like, I agree with that. So we kind of made a makeshift plan. I had a spot in East Texas that I was like, we should hit this East Texas spot. I don't know anything around here that's going to hit hard. So let's go east.
And to give some preface on this, I was not jazzed about hunting because, granted, we haven't been a whole bunch, but we didn't get our normal lake this year. We've tried some other spots, and we just haven't seen birds. We haven't. I don't know that we've had birds, in our normal areas, and so I've just
been weird.
It's been rough.
I lost the motivation absolutely real quick. I was like, "Fuck this, dude! Sleep is fucking cool," and we're gonna go shoot some deers in January. Like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna focus on trying to shoot some deer, and ducks might happen. So that's where my headspace was going into that Sunday.
And Friday, I was like, I don't have a lot of time to go duck hunting, and I feel like we haven't done a lot. I should go out just because. And I had some family stuff Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday rolled around. I was actually Saturday night, I was actually losing a lot of motivation. I was like, I don't know. I really don't know. But got everything together, threw everything in my
I know
truck.
that feeling.
Well, and a lot of my stuff too, when I threw it in my truck, I had so little motivation. I was literally like, I probably need this, I probably need that, and just throwing it in my truck, right? Just throwing it in my truck, putting everything together, and drove out to this East Texas spot. It was a few hours away. Got there, and unlike me, and I think Grinch can tell her, say I'm right. Normally, my bag's packed. I throw it in the boat. throw my shotgun in the boat, and I'm ready to go. Well, I got there, and I'm like, well, I don't need this in my bag, so I'm going to put this here. I don't need this in my bag. I need this in my bag, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I told Jared, I was like, I got to take a shit.
It's called being.
I got to take a shit like no other. And usually I don't shit until we're out in the marsh. Like, I don't shit.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm wearing Crocs still. Don't even have my waders on yet. I feel like super unprepared.
No, that's better than wearing waders.
Well, yes.
You're winning the game right now.
Yes, but like I'm still like in this unprepared,
Sure,
like
sure,
getting
sure.
stuff ready.
Sure.
I haven't.
Mode of-
Normally, I show up. I'm like, all right, let's walk in, put waders on, let's go.
Sure.
And I'm like, all right.
Oh my
So
god!
I waddle off, trying to find a spot. Jared's like already pretty much has all his stuff ready. He had
Motherfucker. I'm used to Jordan being on point, like, all right, I'm here, let's fucking go. And so we happen to pull up right at the same time, and I thought he said I need to go piss, and I was like, oh, me too. So I turn around and take a piss. I start putting all my shit together. I throw the decoys on my back.
Swords?
I'm trying to...
Did you play swords?
No, he was off.
swords and workers.
Okay. Okay.
I was by my truck, and he's off, he's probably like, I don't know, 40 yards from me, 50 yards from me, and I'm just standing around with all my shit on me, like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, let's fucking go. And
Like, wrap it up, dude.
he comes back, and then he's just kind of taking his time this morning. I'm like, am I fucking hunting with Abe right now? Jesus Christ. Like, get your shit
Yeah,
together.
I was really out of sorts, and I probably unpacked and packed my bag like 3 times at least.
Oh, God, yeah.
And what I was saying about the waders, I was wearing Crocs and socks, and there's water everywhere, and there's a channel, and we're right beside a highway, and like I'm like there's nowhere to really like waddle off to, and I'm trying to find this spot. So it took a lot longer to find a spot just to like go back in the woods and take a shit. You wouldn't like a normal shit.
You had to waddle off to go take a shit.
Yeah.
It's like you were turtleheading.
Oh man, it was worse than turtleheading.
Fighting demons.
Did you poop your pants a little bit?
Something walked by that and was like, something's wrong with this animal. But so
Oh man, that animal died.
I get back and I unload some stuff, and like I had just not prepared. I'm wearing a bunch of shit, and I got my waders on, and I'm like, you know what? It's gonna get hot walking back there. I'm gonna take my jacket off, so I shell my waders down, take my jacket off, shove it in my bag, take some stuff out of my bag, like just all this stuff. Like took a while, a lot longer than
Still got the 18 decoys on my back.
Yep,
I'm just standing
and
around
literally, it's super funny. Jared is like standing there, like ready to go, and
You're
I'm adding
stumbling
stuff.
around the woods trying to poop.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
So we got to cross the road.
Oh, how the turntables have turned.
So cross the road, and usually in this spot, it's like just a bar ditch. Like everybody knows what a bar ditch is like, easy to cross, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess they decided they needed more drainage. They took an excavator and literally dug. It was probably like a 5-foot hard wall,
5-6
like,
feet. Yeah.
90 degrees. Like I mean, there's no angle to it. It's
Gradual.
There's no grade
straight
to it.
down,
Yeah, it's just
and then whatever's on the bottom, it's filled with water, mud.
They basically
all that stuff.
trenched it.
Yeah, they trenched the shit out of this. What I'm getting at. Yeah, thank you. And so we have to kind of walk up and down a little bit to find the place to cross. We find a place to cross. I get down,
You fall.
slip, fall, help Jared down. We get up the other side. We're on the other side. We're probably like walk a little bit, and we're at 10 feet away from being in the woods. And this spot is like thick woods. So once we got in there, there's like nothing. 10 feet away, we see this truck coming up to us, and it's slowing down. And I'm like, okay, this thing's slowing down. I should probably wait, right? Guy kind of comes past us a little bit, slows down almost to a stop,
He kind of backed up a little
stops,
bit too. Yeah.
backs up, rolls his window down. I'm like, all right, so I'm completely stopped, waiting to see what's up. Leans over to the passenger side and goes, "You boys know this particular WMA is closed today, right?" And I'm like, "No, actually, this was like a Hail Mary. I did no preparation at all. I just said, I know a spot here. We're going here." And that's all I did. I didn't even think one, two, 3, or 4 times more than that.
Yeah.
There was nothing more planned except for we're going here, we're going to do this, we're going to see if we make something happen. And he goes, yeah, it's closed. There's nothing else. You can't hunt here. I'm like, fuck, all right, well, we drove this far for nothing. He's like, where are you boys?
Yeah, like we're staring at each other in that moment, and I'm thinking, like, okay, fuck, like we could probably find an IHOP, you know, like we could get
Dude,
breakfast,
Waffle House
you know.
is show.
And all I felt like was a dumbass because, like, that's like kind of 101. Like, you look and make sure that it's open, right?
You know,
Like,
I wouldn't have thought of it either.
I mean,
No,
and I get.
I wouldn't. That
Oh,
would,
it's a thing, but I did that one. Most of the lakes we hunt on don't do that.
Right,
I'll just say
for sure.
that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have put I wouldn't have put that together either by any means.
Well, and all I'm saying is, like, once you said it, I'm like, I mean, it makes sense. It's WMA.
Yep.
I mean, like, makes sense, right? But I didn't.
100%
I like that's the last part of my mind. My mind was on. I know a spot here. We're going here if we're going to throw a Hail Mary.
Yep.
So the guy pauses for a little bit and he goes, "Where are you boys from?" We're like, "Oh, the Dallas area, or whatever." And he's like, "All right, well, I got a private spot up here. Y'all guys want to come hunt with me?" And we're like, I mean, we're not going to say no, you know?
oh my god, it was without a fucking thought. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, Jared was already walking across. Well, he already
Jared's
was
like,
I mean, these two,
I'll buy new ones.
you two motherfuckers could have been abducted. You know, like,
Yeah, he could have fucking killed us, but I mean, you go tell that's like the van driving by with spray paint and says like,
Yeah, like free
private
puppies.
duck hunting spot. Like, fuck, I'm there. What's up? Fucking
yeah, I'm
murder
getting
me.
in, bro.
Whatever.
So like, oh yeah, all
hang on. Jared, at this point, what was your expectations of this place? This guy was like, I had a private spot. Let's go over here.
Well, so to be fair, when the guy first stopped, I was like, "Who's this motherfucker showing up late? Like, we got here kind of late, and you're gonna try to say something to us, like you're gonna try to hunt our spot? Fuck that!" And then he said, "Hey man, private spot over here." I didn't even. There was no second guess or worry in my brain. It was immediate. Like, I'm gonna try to shoot some birds on private land, because immediately it's a mental thing with me. I think private land. I'm like, there's fucking birds.
Okay, yeah.
Like, there's birds there.
My immediate,
Which isn't the case all the time.
No, but
thought
I get
was,
it.
we're gonna go sit on this pond, and there might be a few birds on this pond, like, you know.
That's fine.
But yeah, that's fine. Like, it's
But
it's still an attempt. I have no other plan. I was gonna go home. We're gonna go hit an IHOP and go home. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So we get over, we follow this guy down, and then I see where he pulls over. And literally right next to the spot we're going to hunt, like, we're on the edge of this WMA where we're at, and he is the next property. Like, his property borders where we were going to hunt. Like, I mean, there's a fence line. We're probably going to hunt maybe, I don't know, 50, 100 yards where his spot was.
And that shit was strategic. Like, him getting that fucking land.
Oh, yeah,
Strategic.
for sure. Like, I'm still jealous of this land. But anyways, I digress. So we get over there, and he's like, hey, we got to wait for a couple other guys. He pulls into his property. We get to the spot, like the staging area that he has. And he has I noticed then he has a dog kennel in the back, a four-wheeler sitting there with a beaver sled tied to the back of his ATV, and we sit there. He gets out. He's talking to us. We're talking, and this dude hunts. I mean, he's immediately started telling us what's up. Like, he's like, hey, we're gonna go down here. We got these decoys. This is what you need. Like, he's just listening out. Like, I mean, Grinch style. Like, he's like, you probably don't need this. Don't worry about your decoys. We got all that. You need a stool, your gun, your normal stuff, whatever. This is what you need. All right, cool. His buddy shows up, and we're waiting on one other guy. All right, we wait on this guy. He shows up, and they're like, all right, jump in our buddy's truck. He can drive you down to this spot. And he immediately says the word. He's like, he's going to drive you down to the levee. I was like, levee? What do you...
Something's up here.
Oh, my God, what do you mean levee? So he drives us down to this thing, and we pull up, and there's literally...
What you laughing for, man? It's real.
I believe you.
Like, he literally pulls up to it, and I'm Like Jared's like sitting there, me and him are kind of looking at each other like, really? Like this is what it is? And he's like, all right, y'all guys go up on top of the levee and you're going to walk around. This is the long way. The other way is kind of hard to get to, but it's faster. But I'd go around this way. And then go this way and you'll see some willow trees. That's where we're going to hunt. And so us and the guys showed up late. We jump all together and we walk around this levee, right? And we're looking at it. I'm looking down at it and I'm like, that looks like water that has been planned, how deep it is. It looks awesome. And we're looking out across it, and it's still pretty dark.
Fucking thought out.
And I'm like, it looks very manicured. All this
Like
stuff
the-
looks great.
Like that draw hunt we were on.
Yes. In fact, maybe I'll say it. We had a buddy that texted us after we posted this on social media, and he goes, "Is that Richland Chambers behind y'all?"
Exactly.
That's his first thing. And this is what this place looked like. I mean, it looked like Richland Chambers.
That's
and I'm
so
like,
awesome.
we're walking around. I'm like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And we get there. He kind of tells us what's up. Like, he's like, you'll see where I'm at with the 4-wheeler. I'll get there before y'all, this, that, and the other. We get around there, and he's like, there's some brush here. Y'all guys brush in, do all this stuff. Here's some lifetime decoys.
Dude made you walk?
Huh? Yeah.
Dude made you walk in? What the fuck?
What kind of
dude?
shouty operation you
Yeah, exactly.
How dare this guy? Yeah, I mean, mind you, before when we were all like we pulled into the
gave
gate.
him a shitty review. I mean, just
Thanks
shitty.
for nothing.
Yeah.
Thanks for nothing, bro.
I asked him if he wanted to bring. Hey man, I'll bring my decoys. Hey, we've got a couple of these, these ripplers. This butt wiggler here. I was like, we got some flock flickers. Whatever you want us to bring, we got everything. And he's like, pretty much told us not to worry about it. Like, I was like, okay, you can bring your mojos. Let's try those out. But
Yeah,
I mean,
hang on.
it felt like a guided hunt.
The way you said like you bring your mojos, it was like very like I don't want to say condescending, but he was like, if y'all want like.
He was trying to be nice to you, like, oh, let the kids bring their toys.
Yeah,
Fine.
exactly. That's how I felt.
Kinda, yeah.
I know that feeling.
He knew it was
It's fine. Just bring it. It's fine.
So we get
That's whatever.
That's fine.
we get down there. We kind of throw our stuff out. He tells us, here's where I want the decoys. Just throw them out, and where the headlights of the ATV are, just put them out there. It'll be cool. And then I'll be back in a minute because he's going to go get some more decoys. So we throw these decoys out. We put the mojos out that we brought, all that stuff. And he's like, just wherever y'all want, kind of in this spot, find a spot, hide. Let's do that. So we get in there. We do all the stuff. We get a spot ready for ourselves. I'm like, Jared's in one spot. I'm like, I feel like I'm really far this way. I'm going to move to another spot. I move to another spot. While we're doing all this, it looks like if anyone's been in a spot with like a lot of bats, or let's just say like large mosquitoes, like looking out, like all of a sudden you see all this shit flying around you. It's all ducks. All ducks just flying in.
And mind you, Jordan's saying this like the sun's coming up. Like we weren't quite. I don't think we were legal at that.
Yeah,
time.
we weren't legal at that time at all.
It was early too.
But you could still see like the sky was starting to light up a little bit, and we're still moving around and getting fucking situated. And it wasn't like we sat there and built this big old fucking blind. It's like, cool, I'm going to sit behind these 2 branches, and this is just where I live for the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, Jordan's
like,
description.
and like you're saying, like it was teal for sure, but there was big ducks already. I mean, like it was just like left and right. Like there's big groups of them rising up off of the water that was in front of us. There's big groups coming in. There were singles coming in. I mean, it was just like madness, right? And like literally everyone's just kind of still standing there like you normally would. Like you just threw the decoys out and everyone's kind of discussing the decoys. Like we weren't in our hides. We weren't trying to be, we weren't trying to be like, not like, we weren't trying to like hunt already. We were just kind of like, hey, yeah, cool. And these guys were talking about old hunts and they knew this guy and, whatever it was, we just stand out there and these birds are still coming in. And me and Jared are still like talking to each other like, is this like really like this actually happened? Like this is actually a thing right now, right?
Over like before shooting light, we saw over 100 birds.
For sure, I would agree with
like over a fucking 100 birds in the sky, and it was reminding me like I don't know if y'all remember. I think it was last year when I went to Arkansas with Steph, and I ended up not being able to hunt, but I was driving past fields, and I was just sending y'all videos because I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, look how many birds are here. Like, to be on a hunt like that, like to actually get to hunt and see that was it's hard to comprehend. Like, oh my God, like birds flock like this. Like birds will do this in a field if it's set up right, like.
Birds do come from somewhere.
They do come.
Fucking birds come from somewhere, dude.
Yeah.
And they did. They did come from somewhere.
So we not like
That's where they
very
come from.
unimpressively. We're like, hey, we should probably get in our spots. Let's get ready. Shooting lights.
Yeah,
And if you we got 10 minutes or so let's go. And we're like, these guys were discussing like, okay, there's a lot of teal here, but maybe we should see if the big ducks come in closer. So let's wait a minute, right? So they're kind of holding off, and we're getting the game plan together, shouting at each other, hey, the guy that owned the place, I'm pretty laid back, so we'll make some calls, but if you think you have a good shot, use your head, and I'm not going to get pissed off that you took a shit shot. Obviously don't sky blast, we're just kind of talking or whatever. And he's like, but, yeah, so, it's shooting light. So let's see if we can get some of these big ducks in and wait just a little bit. And it goes on for a little bit. And he's like, hey, start shooting whatever y'all guys want. And so the shooting starts, and it's literally one of those hunts where guys are out picking up ducks. Ducks are coming in the side, shooting ducks on the side. Ducks are coming in from, the other side. Ducks are coming in from the front. And we kind of just are shooting ducks left, right, and center, 100%. And guys are out there picking them up. The dogs are there. These ducks don't care. This place was designed.
They wanted to be there.
It was manicured for,
it was a manicured
duck hunting.
hunting
It was designed.
This guy bought this place to develop for duck hunting, and that's what it was, and it was awesome. And we basically hit the lottery, and we knew it. And it was funny because I wasn't on the doing anything on the group, and Jared keeps on telling me these guys really don't believe that this is happening. And I'm like, no.
Oh, there was
It was.
by the time you all had gotten all that done.
That we didn't believe it was happening.
What's that? Yeah, we just didn't believe it was
Well,
happening. That was
talking
because of the
Because it's Jared.
well that
I-
and it's just
Okay.
Jared has an overall there's a constant
Listen
like you said earlier.
Incessant.
If it came from Jordan, I'd have believed it immediately. But Jared, I'm like,
There's
come
no
on,
way.
bro. And I'd already snuffed one of your fucking fuckeries out, and I felt like I was like that. This just reeked of.
I will say though,
okay, wait a minute.
I did get you good.
You went
I think
into
it was
the woods to take a shit, and you came out and you had a private land
It was
hookup. Get the fuck out of here.
I think it was 2 seasons ago. I think I sent you a picture that I Googled, and you posted it on our Instagram because you thought it was real, and it wasn't. That was great.
And so you learned from that.
So
Yeah, no, I get
Yeah,
it. You've got
I-
PTSD, and it's hard to believe me. And so it made it. This was like the boy who cried wolf for sure. I was bitching to Jordan. I was like, "These fucking pieces of shit do not believe me."
No.
And I'm sending them this picture, and they're like, "Yeah, whatever." And then I'm sending the video of me flipping you off, and I'm just like, "They don't believe me." I
Hey,
don't.
first of all, you flipped us off in the most weird way I've ever
trying-
seen
I am
somebody
trying to get a
which
picture.
is backwards.
But it looked
I know.
like
Would
it
you
was.
just turn your hand the other way, dumbass?
What am I going to flip off other things? I'm flipping you off.
Oh my
I
god,
don't know.
it was so
It's
weird to see
weird.
that
I
angle.
don't know if it was.
When you take a selfie, do you take a picture of the back of your head? No. Unless you're sending it to your boyfriend, he likes to see the back of your head. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true. It is true.
Oh,
So when I started sending
Hey.
stuff, were y'all thinking I was just trying to help Jared out?
No, we started to rethink.
no.
They really stuck to this story. The fact that Jared got
You've committed to this too well now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was hey, man, I don't think Jared sold Jordan that hard on this. He's really sticking to his guns here, right? No one's
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
love it.
If
This is-
one of you would have broken.
So here's what's even better about this story. Not only were we in this awesome duck spot, the dudes we were hunting with were really fucking cool. These guys were like awesome. Like they were telling stories. We were talking back and forth. I mean, it was 100% recommend. Just an awesome hunt. Like, yeah, these guys were all about duck hunting. They had great stories. Like, we were talking about like the oil field stories. Anyone knows that like oil field stories are about? Like, 100%. Like laughing, like just having a great time.
That's
like
awesome.
You know, just solid dudes. You know, like
our kind of dudes for sure. Like our kind of crowd, our kind of people for sure.
Like it felt weird asking them for like, hey, what's your number? Because like I just want to hang out with you again. Like I felt weird asking because like it's one of those things where like these guys are probably like, you just want to hunt here again. And yes, you're right. But like you guys are cool.
Did
like,
you ask for numbers?
Yeah. Huh? I did not.
Did you ask for numbers?
I did not.
Did I miss that? Oh, you're saying it would have been. Okay.
I
was like, hold on. Did you miss that? And it got weird?
You did eventually. But
Okay,
like,
I was about to say, wait, what?
Yeah, all this stuff is
Wait, what?
it was just it was very like
That would get
Hey, be okay.
All right, now I'm back. This never fucking happened. This never happened. This is well orchestrated over IHOP. That's what this is.
Yeah, that's where the
If you
pictures
didn't get
came
your
from.
phone number.
so.
AI. Get the fuck out of here with those pictures. AI, yeah, exactly.
So it started getting bad. It started getting bad. The problem we had was
what started getting bad.
so we couldn't get the ducks to get close enough to us. So the guy that owns the place, he's like, "Hey, we've already shot pretty good. We just need a few more. Why don't you guys take y'all's tools, take a few few shells, and go further out in the Milo?" And so we're like, "Okay, cool." So we go, we sit there, and like these ducks are just flying like literally right on top of us. We shoot the rest of them. There's 5 dudes out there.
The rest of the ducks.
Yeah, because like literally,
No, there were still more.
All of them.
I know. Okay.
but we finished our 5-man limit. There's 5 dudes out there. We shot a 5-man limit. I look at my watch. I'm like, it's 9:00 in the morning. And we shot a 5-man freaking limit and I know people that shoot 5-man limits sooner than that. It happens, but like you're talking about going out to a place on a Hail Mary with the thought of, I hope we get 2 ducks. I hope Jared shoots one and I shoot one, and we'll have a great day. That makes it
get skunked.
Yeah, we didn't get skunked. Like we were just looking not to get skunked, and we shot a 5-man freaking limit off of a place that was a Hail Mary. That literally, me and Jared talked about this. If I, who is normally more organized than this, wasn't organized, didn't take that shit. We were 10 steps.
For real.
Like I mean, like 10 feet away. Not 10 steps, but 10 feet away from being in the woods, and probably would have missed that guy. We would have been illegally hunting.
If y'all start blasting, somebody would have become talking to you.
Yeah. We would have been illegal hunting.
Well,
and not only that, but we scored this spot.
In that spot they were in.
And it was all teal, mallards, and a few shovelers. Like just a few shovelers.
There was some.
Which is fine. I mean, like.
There was a pintail. I had a pintail. I brought a pintail home.
I forgot about the juvenile.
This is
Juvenile.
why I tell you, you should just fucking go.
Abe, please,
Just go.
please, just stop. Just shut up.
Oh, I know. No, since this has happened, because this is always my thing, just fucking go. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you go and you get set up, you get skunked, you learn something
This
from
was this hunt was like Abe Bullman, dumb luck, winning shit all the time. Like me and Austin, me and Jordan won this one.
it. How you win
hardcore.
shit, show the fuck up.
But and honestly, what Jordan was getting at is if he wouldn't have fucked around and went to take a shit, we would have been in the woods, and that dude wouldn't have fucking seen us, and we would have hunted public land, and it would have been shitty, and all the birds would have gone to the private land, and it would have been dumb. And then we would have gone. We may have gone to
hunting
Wildflower
gods
still.
after my whitetail hunt out Santa Saba. I helped my sister and my brother-in-law. I gave my brother-in-law the spot I was going to go to. I said, go to here. And he shot a really nice 8-point buck in the spot I was going to go to, and I was happy for him. 100%. I really think that this was one of those things that was like, And I don't disagree with you, Abe. I'm normally the one that when you're like, hey, I'm going to just roll out here and go, I'm normally the one that goes with you. I'm cool with that. There's nothing wrong with
No, yeah, you're
that's not the point.
He'll go to the loony bin with you.
The point is, like, what you're trying to talk about is the fact that you tried to push us to go to East Texas at the beginning of the season when we already scouted and had birds, and it didn't work out the way we should, which happens. But, like, we had a plan, and we stuck to that plan. And I don't disagree with the East Texas spots. Like, the East Texas spots are great. I love them.
sure.
And I 100% agree that an adventure is part of a hunt where you just go do what you need to do. If you don't have a plan, like, make one and go. If you're not going to shoot ducks on the couch. If you don't have a plan, you didn't scout, you didn't have time to scout. Exactly. You're not going to shoot ducks unless you go. But this was one of those things that was, I really feel like every little piece hit just right.
Yeah.
Because if we were a little earlier and I had everything together, we'd have been in the woods like for an hour. I mean, it took me a long time. Like, I can't explain how long it took me. It bothered me how long it took me to get ready to get from my truck and ready to walk into the woods, let alone walk into the woods. I mean, it was a, like, very uncommon thing for me. And we ended up with this, I mean, spectacular hunt.
Yeah. What was the coolest duck that got shot there? Was there any studs?
There was a really, really nice, probably it wasn't as battleship as some of our Louisville mallards, the OG mallards, but like,
Dude, there was some. I brought the mallards home, and there was some big motherfuckers.
they're as big as
That is it.
The studs machine.
Everyone got quiet. I mean, I'm looking at mine on the wall here, and I mean, yeah, it was not far off.
So
awesome.
I mean, there's some good greenheads.
All right. That's cool.
One of those shovelers
doubt,
actually
no
looked
doubt.
pretty good.
All
Pretty
day.
good. One of the shovelers looked decent.
I'd be happy to mount a stud.
Oh
shoveler.
man, this wasn't a stud, but it looked pretty good.
I think they get full plume like late.
Yes.
Because I know everybody talks
And
about
it
shooting
wasn't-
stud shovelers in Mexico, and that's where you shoot stud late plumage ducks like cinnamon teal,
Season
Yeah.
stuff.
It was
epic blue teal.
kind of the sun was up finally, and our gracious host, you know, he had his dog out there, a nice black lab that, you know, was a little antsy. You know, he had to zap her a few times, but, you know, she went and fetched those birds up pretty good. But I looked at his duck call lanyard, and he had quite a bit of jewelry on there. And, you know, they kind of started to divulge, like, oh, yeah, we do a lot of public in Arkansas. We've done a lot of public out here, you know, in this area, and maybe a further, you know, a little bit more north from here. Like, named a bunch of the lakes off. And Abe, to your credit, it's a lot of the lakes you tell us to go check out, you know, which I don't feel like we've really given a fair shot because we got complacent with where we normally go. So,
One of the lakes you don't
kind of
shout
hearing
out as
the way
much,
they.
too, which is crazy.
Sorry.
One of the lakes he doesn't shout out as much.
One of the what?
One of the lakes you don't shout out
Yeah.
as much anymore, which is crazy to me.
One of the lakes you don't shout out
Yeah, Joe
anymore
Poole.
for 500. Abe.
Joe Poole. I got you.
Nobody likes to go to White Rock Lake anymore. I mean, there's a bunch of birds on White Rock Lake.
It's covered
Well,
up all the time.
I thought it was
It really is.
It legitimately is. Like, I just think about smashing ducks at White Rock.
Fucking with a suppressed pellet gun.
No, just with the shotgun going to jail. just
Shooting shotguns right off
nailed it.
the dog park.
Yeah, why some white chick runs by with her Pomeranian and you just fucking bust a teal into pieces.
I busted.
Thought the only restriction on this lake was outboard.
I nailed that sucker real good.
Yes. But anywho,
So, and I think what Jared's getting at is it's crazy. Like, you knew this guy was definitely a duck hunter because he wasn't just like, yeah, I come here every weekend. I mean, he was talking about this spot and that spot, and they were spots I know that are great spots. You know what I mean? Like, and he was like, we hunt Arkansas a lot. They go up there, they hunt, roam around, do some shit, and God, that place.
I think
awesome.
he said that this hunt that we did with him on his property, he said has been like his 6th hunt there. And I'm sure he's just like everyone else has got a job, but it sounds like he kind of.
I was gonna say Grinch will like this. As soon as we were like done taking the picture, he brought a tally book and wrote in a tally book of how what duck got shot, how many, all that stuff. Started tallying up and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that guy's a guide and was like.
So I can't remember the name of the company. He did mention like an outfitting company that he
Red Leg.
He previously Red Leg. There we go. Yeah, he used to own, and I guess he sold
to one of his
buddy of his, which the surveyor. So this was one of the guys on the hunt.
One of the guys who was a
surveyor.
surveyor that surveyed his place and was like, "Hey man, I'm not going to charge you, but if you give me a hunt, that'd be cool." So we were hunting with the surveyor and us, and that surveyor was telling us some stuff too that was pretty interesting.
All right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you boys.
I mean, the only thing we did was go to, Lake X, and we were late. And then Jordan faffed for like 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't understand what the proud is.
There.
Why are you proud, Abe?
The proud is just being there.
The proud. I'm proud of you for being there.
You talked good.
You talked good.
You showed up. You got invited to go on a.
He don't know talking good like you and me. And yes, I got his phone number because I was like, "Hey, this was the only awkward bit about this whole thing is while we're picking up decoys and getting all this gear back onto the levee, and he's going to take us all back on the 4-wheeler." Hey, you guys listen to podcasts at all? Oh yeah, I listen to podcasts from time to time. It's like, well, we host a podcast. We'd love to have you guys on to just talk about this hunt. This has been such a great day, and you've been so generous. Well, I don't think I'd be any guest on a podcast. And I was like, all right, that's fair, yeah. But he's like, but I'd sure give it a listen. I was like, that's awesome. Thank you. So
thanks.
We get back to the truck, and I'm like, well, here's a podcast. I got the sticker on the back of my truck. And I was like, I can obviously send you guys a link if that's easier. And so the other guest, he's like, oh, yeah, here, I'll just take a picture of it real quick. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I was like, we're just like you and your buddies. It's 4 of us who just sit around and you think we're drunk the whole time. But, that we're just old buddies, who hunt and we're idiots, just like anybody else. And then the landowner, I was like, oh, yeah, here, I'll text it to you. Let me get your number real quick. And prior to that, he did the mention. He did the homie mention, and he was like, hey, man, you and Jordan out this way again, and, you're welcome to shoot me a text, see if we're out here. If we've got some spots open, I'm happy to let you guys join. I was like, fuck, yes. So, yeah.
So why don't we hit him?
Got to send that follow-up message.
I'm sorry?
Did y'all follow up with him after you guys' number?
Oh, no, I am not about to burn this guy out right now. I was going to probably wait till the last
procedure. It's just like, hey, man, thank you again. The follow-up. Did y'all follow up?
Cool. So, yeah, I'm gonna follow up with him in January, not July.
Why don't we...
Then he's going to be like, who the fuck is this guy?
He doesn't know who you are by then. I'm talking
you got to follow up kind of immediately just to say thank you.
So I don't disagree with what you're saying.
I got his number. I'll take
business, but I highly doubt that he's not going to remember who we are because I highly doubt he picks up a lot of guys on the side of the road for free to take to a pond. And if we're like, hey, remember those guys you picked up?
How do you know? Don't fucking judge him, dude.
Exactly.
How dare you?
Maybe for different reasons, but
I've already run this.
Don't put his life in a box.
Picking up dudes on the side of the road is different than taking dudes to your personal hunting spot. I'm just saying. Abe, don't judge people.
Not for
I guess.
Not for Abe.
I'm not.
Abe will pick those boys up real quick.
Hell yeah.
How do you think he became friends with Will? You know what I'm saying? Boy was a minor when he met him. Jesus Christ.
Groomed.
He's still a minor.
No. Oh. awesome.
This is why Abe doesn't hang out with him.
I don't want to cue anybody right now because it seems dirty.
What's that evil, gross little laugh there? There it is.
That's
weasel
always
laugh.
good.
Did that weasel?
That's what else are we supposed to talk about? What was else?
We covered it.
That's it. We're done.
Well, that's neat.
Just, I think the only thing I want to wrap the podcast up with is Abe moved down to the coast and doesn't come up north anymore because he's fucking too good for us, I guess.
Yep.
You don't leave birds.
If you'd been up here, if you'd been up here,
Found
you could have
the
found the
birds.
birds with me and Jordan.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm shooting buffleheads and redheads down here. So
I'm shooting buffleheads and
So you
redheads
shot.
down here.
Grinch shot 1 and 2, and now you're shooting buffleheads and redheads.
There was a shitload of them.
Shot.
yeah, there was no shortage
We
of
weren't
them.
prepared for that situation because of the
That's what-
problems.
That's what he
It's-
said. He said he shot
No, I don't.
buffleheads and redheads.
Oh well, no, I haven't shot.
They were-
You can
I have shot some buffleheads. down here.
shoot. You can shoot some buffleheads and redheads.
Yeah.
The birds are here to be
If
able to
I,
be shot.
if
That's
I
for
didn't
sure.
have things to do this weekend, I would have gone back down there to hunt divers.
Let's do it.
As I said,
Come down. Let's go.
So
you'll
you're
kill
telling me
redheads and
there's a
buffaloes.
chance.
I mean, I could go down
Yeah.
to my home, shoot redheads.
You could also, yeah,
He's
you
gonna
can,
be down there.
you can shoot a bunch down there too.
Yes. Yes.
Everything's a yes.
Yes.
Are we done here?
Yeah. Yeah. yes. Yes. We
I
are.
wanted to do. Good
Yes.
job.
For those of you still listening to the podcast, we really appreciate you. Please make sure you're subscribed. We have a wonderful, wonderful podcast coming up soon with the Into the Wild movie review, which I'm very excited to talk about.
So I haven't watched it.
That'll be coming up soon.
Yeah.
You need to get on it. I think you can watch it on Amazon Prime.
That's negatory.
So, you don't have Amazon Prime?
I do. I looked up.
Okay, well, you can watch it on Amazon Prime.
I can if I ran it. Yes, you're right.
Jordan, you have $3. You can rent a movie.
I'm poor. I'm a poor. The ones you,
Not that. You're not that. You have Sitka gear. You're not that
I don't.
destitute where you can't be like, oh, I can't afford $3.
name one Sitka gear I have.
Anyways, you guys
Hey.
keep an eye out on our
You have
Instagram and
oh,
our
you have
TikTok.
First Light. I
We
forget. You're
have
like my brother. You're a
a
fanboy.
new social media
love First
manager who's just crushing it.
That's wrong. You had
Crushing.
First Light gloves. Got a First Light shirt.
So yeah, we want to thank you guys for listening so far.
Duck you.
Abe and Jordan are now just bickering at each other, so let's go ahead and cue Brayley.
Check out our meme page.
Maybe that should be the way.
Heavens.
I love you guys.
Stormwater Creek is the best. Grinch, the captain. Abe, the helper. Jordan, the problem solver. I hope you like Stormwater Creek. Stormwater Creek.